Hello, hi guys. This is here Balakrishna from lecturepedia.in. How are you? Hope you people are doing well. Even I am fantastic. So I guess you have come out of yesterday's results and you have started focusing on your preparation for the upcoming Jan 26 examination. So, keeping in view the upcoming Jan 26 examinations, by analyzing all the past examination papers, what I have done is I have categorized the chapters for CA final auditing. See, I have basically categorized these chapters into three categories: A, B, and C. Now, the purpose of categorizing these chapters is to guide you on how much time has to be spent on each of that particular chapter. Okay, so the chapters which are in category C, it doesn't mean that you have to skip them completely. You have to spend lesser time. So what I would suggest is you divide your complete time that you are going to allocate to audit, and 60% of the time you spend on category A, 30% on category B, and remaining 10% on category C. So like this you allocate the time among these chapters. So because it is not the correct approach to study all the chapters in the same fashion. You need to have a strategy. So the first thing is allocation of time. So more time has to be allocated for more important areas, just like we do in case of audit. So for the high risk areas, we will allocate more time and we will perform more audit procedures, correct or not? So similarly, high important areas you need to allocate more time. Clear? So based on my analysis, what I observed is the chapters SQC1, SA220. Firstly, that quality control chapter. There is for sure at least one question from these two standards taken together for 5 marks. If you observe in each and every examination, there is one question. ICI is not missing it. Similarly, Coro also for sure 4 marks you will get. Next, professional ethics, there will be 10 to 15 marks, right? Next, digital audit, SDG, ESG. These two chapters also ICI not missing. 4 marks from digital audit, 4 marks from SDG, ESG. So if you see all the first 5 chapters, you will 100% for sure you will find a question from this. So you have to study these first 5 chapters like anything, okay, line by line, along with complete analysis. You need to study these first 5 chapters. You should not compromise on these first 5 chapters, because for sure 100% blindly ICA will give question from these chapters. Okay, yes. Next, coming to the standards. So 299, 315, which is risk assessment standard, and from the 500 series, 501, 520, 550, 560, 570. These 5 standards from the 500 series, and from the 700 series, 701, 705, 720, and from the 800 series, 800, 810, 4000, 410, 2400, 3402. So these standards are category A standards. So you need to focus much more on these standards. Getting it? Next, group audit also similarly, just like the above 5 standards, they will give for sure 4 to 5 marks. And NBFC bank taken together, you will get 5 marks. Sometimes you will get from NBFC, sometimes you will get from bank audit. And due diligence, this due diligence, till now they haven't asked any question. If you observe in the new syllabus, right from beginning they haven't asked any question. So there is a high chance they might ask question in the coming attempt or in the May 26 attempt. So I kept it in A category chapter. Okay, yes. So these are the 9 chapters which are under A category along with some auditing standards. So you should spend 60% of your time on these A category chapters. So roughly today is 4th of November, roughly you have 60 days, right? So each day if you are spending some 2 or 2.5 hours on audit, let me take 2 hours, you will be spending around 120 hours on audit, right? So of that 120 hours, 60% of the time you spend on these category A chapters. And see, these category A chapters, you should read the complete book, the complete concept book. See, with respect to the book, whatever the book you have been following till now, you follow the same book, you don't change the book, okay? Because you are already used to that book, don't change the book in this remaining 60 days of time, follow the same book. If in case you are following my book, audit concise book that I have prepared, you focus on the key terms I have given in red color, right? So you focus more on the key terms, you try to remember those key terms. And you also solve question and answers and also MCQs from these chapters, because generally what happens is the points that you forget, that you miss while reading the concepts, those points, some important points, they will strike while solving the MCQs. You'll get to know that you have completely missed that point while reading the concept. Because while reading the concept, what happened, there will be lot of paragraph, lot of theory. So in that much theory content, you will for sure uh, in between lines you will forget to read in between lines, and you will miss important points. Those kind of important points MCQs will help to identify. So if you read MCQs means what? MCQs means nothing but all the important points from the concept, they are taken and MCQs are framed from them, right or not? So by reading the MCQs, you will get to know the important points that you might have missed while reading the theory content. You focus on MCQs on these uh, category A chapters. MCQs also, see, this MCQs you can focus on all the chapters, but for category A chapters you don't forget, because for sure they will be giving question from this, okay, nook and corner of the book you need to read for these category A chapters. Yes. Next, category B, audit of PSU, investigation. See, investigation, they have been giving question from investigation quite a lot of items. So instead of keeping it in category A, I just shifted it to category B just for this Jan 26 examination. And coming to the auditing standards, SA 240, 300, 330, 402, 510, 530, and 600, 610, 706, 710, 4400, 3400. So this is category B standards along with the two chapters. So you need to focus both on category A as well as category B also, but a little bit of less time you need to allocate. Next, coming to some category C chapters which are unimportant, but you shouldn't miss these categories, these chapters, because there is a case scenario. So these days I say what they are doing, they are picking a particular chapter and framing the complete case scenario from that particular chapter only. So who knows, from the category C chapter they might frame a case scenario for 8 marks or 10 marks. So you shouldn't skip category C chapters. You have to focus even on category C chapters, but allocate less time for category C chapters. So you have forensic audit here, internal audit, and some of the unimportant standards, 200, 210, 230. See, first of all, these three standards, they are not at all there in your ICS study material, your final study material, but institute they can frame questions from these three standards because they're at the intermediate level, right? So you came to final level after clearing intermediate only, right? So they might test you from these three standards also in the form of small MCQs. Next, 250, 260, 265, 260, 265, they are very small standards, negligible standards. Next, 450, 500, 505, 540, 580, 620, 700, 805, 2014 and 3420. These are category C chapters. See, by this time you should have already learnt all these chapters. you would have already taken the classes, and you should have already completed the first time reading of all these chapters. The purpose of this is just to focus more on which area to focus more from the point of view of Jan 26 examination. Clear? Yes, sir. Next, and with respect to books, I already told you, you please don't change the book and solve question and answers. Solving question and answers, you please don't forget. I told you, just like in the case of MCQs, some of the important points that you might have missed while reading the theory from the book, you will get notice of them in the MCQs. Similarly, in the questions also, see, in case of audit, what happens is, you need to first of all identify what the question is asking, because the audit questions, they will not be directly asking the content these days. They will twist those questions so that student will confuse. So you have to read question twice or thrice before answering it, getting it focus more on the question. So how you can focus more on the question? Only if you solve a question bank, only if you solve more questions, many questions, you will get to know how to tackle with the questions. Because even though you know more concept, you know all the concept, but if you don't know how to tackle the question, identifying the question and writing the relevant points for that question as answer, these are things that you need to learn in case of a theory subject like audit. So this thing, when will you get this uh, this kind of identifying the question and getting the relevant answer and writing the points relevant to the question? Only when you solve the questions, you will get habituated to this thing. So you for sure solve question bank. If you take in my question bank, there are around 600 plus questions. Okay, 600 plus questions you have. I have covered all the MTPs, RTPs, okay, and past examinations. See, repeated questions I am not telling. If at all the questions are repeated in the RTP, MTP, any questions, repeated questions, I have removed that repeated questions. Only single time I have given that question. Okay, like this, there are 600 questions that has to be solved by you. See how many questions there are. So completely solve all those questions, getting it. So your concepts will get better only when you solve the questions. Until and unless you don't solve the questions, your concepts don't get better. Clear? So you should focus even on even on question and answer also, along with the concepts. And you might already be knowing, in case of audit, key terms are very much important. You have to focus more on the key terms. Examiner who is valuing your answer sheet, he should find the key terms for that particular concept. And how do you know which are key terms? See, if you take my book, you will have all the key terms highlighted in the red color. But once you go through the concept by your own, when once you read it twice or thrice, you only will get to know which term is key term for this particular concept. If you are not able to identify, you can take help of some books. Some books, they are having, if you take particularly my book, I have highlighted all the key terms in the red color in the audit concise book. Okay, if you want, you can take benefit of that particular thing also, right? So this is the categorization with respect to CA final audit for the upcoming Jan 2026 examination. Got it? So yes, focus more on these chapters. For sure, you will be clearing in the upcoming Jan 26 examination. All the best. Take care. Bye bye. See you.